it's Wes.
And Shonda.
And welcome to DinkLife.
We are continuing on our journey in Paris today, and we're using the Turbo Pass that we purchased online. And we are going to do a wine and cheese tasting. Now, we are in front of the building. The place is called Ô Chateau. And we took a train and the metro to get here from the Eiffel Tower. It was really quite easy. Once you get the hang of the subway here, it's pretty
It's a
simple.
pretty easy subway system here.
And so we're going to take you in there with us and see what's happening.
And this is where all of our cheeses will be coming from. And these are other tasting experiences that they have here we can use on the pass. And here is a shot of the inside of the wine and cheese tasting. They also do have food in here too, so you can eat. Here we go. We did pay an extra $20 a person to get wine tasting with the cheese.
And she did a wonderful job of explaining what goes with what and why, and where it comes from in France as well. So that was great. So the first cheese we have is Brie, which most people who know of that have heard of that. I actually think this cheese is from this. Remember that our waiter at Waltz said he was from, I think he said he was from here.
Yeah.
And that's where he said we needed to try the cheese. So we're trying the cheese. I think everybody's had Brie, but obviously we're in France, and this is where it's made. And then the wine it is paired with is a Chardonnay, straight up Chardonnay. So we love cheese. I doubt I'm going to hate any of this. I hate to say this, that is way better than cheese at home.
I'm sure.
It is so flavorful. Like our Brie at home doesn't have a lot of flavor. It really doesn't. That's why they put it in a lot of things when they bake. But I can't even like articulate the flavor. It's not like anything I've ever tasted before. Oh Lord, that's good. You should come to France and have wine and cheese.
Good pairing?
Yes, very good. So we're moving on to cheese number 2, which is this one, or on the plate there. And it is called Selle Séchère. It's goat milk cheese. Where did it say it was from? Lyon? No, Loire Valley. And this goes with Sauvignon Blanc, so white on white. And all they make in that region, she said, was this Sauvignon Blanc or Pinot. So those are the only two things that they make there. I can tell you by smelling it, it just smells like goat cheese. For sure, it's going to be strong, I think. Yep. It's a much stronger version of the goat cheese that you can buy in the grocery store at home. Like much more flavorful, very tasty. However, I would say if you don't like strong cheeses, you're probably not going to like this because it is way stronger than the goat cheese at home. But it is delicious. Oh, that's really good. It's so smooth. It brings out the flavor of the cheese even more, which again, it's super, super strong. So if you don't like strong cheeses, don't do this one. But I love it. It's delicious. We love strong cheeses. So now we have, I already forgot what it's called, Comte. It's unpasteurized cow's milk. And it's very firm. I smelled it. It's maybe a little, she said this was like Parmesan, but I'm telling you, this smells a little bit like it too. So I'm not sure. And then it is paired with another Chardonnay. So I'm ready to dig into this one because it smells delicious. So let's see. Oh my God.
Then you have the Brie de Meaux, just right here, more from the north of France.
Jeez, that's
You
good.
can find it really easily in the supermarket in France. Most of the time it's really light and clean.
It is like
That
Parmesan
one's
Reggiano,
one of the strongest cheese of the place, so advise you to
but
go
like,
with the fourth position.
yeah, it's just so good.
And then we finish
And it goes with 3.
blue cheese. You can find it in the south of France. And you know, blue cheese in France could be really strong. That is the strongest
This-
cheese of the plate, but it's not
This one is
that
much
strong.
stronger than the first one, the Chardonnay. Like,
And I advise you that you
This-
can taste with the juice 'cause it's
this tastes more like Chardonnay we drink at home, like much drier.
and it should
The first one wasn't quite so dry. It was more like a champagne, she said. This one is quite dry. But it pairs very well with this because it is quite strong again. These just get more delicious as they go on. It's so good. You have to try wine and cheese if you're in France. So now we are moving on to our 4th cheese, which is this here on the plate. And this is called Cantal, and it is cow's milk, but it's uncooked. And it's firm, so I'm not really sure how that works. But I guess we'll see. Now, she did tell us when she was explaining the cheese that this was salty, quite salty, and more like Parmesan, but I did just pick it up and smell it, and it doesn't really smell like anything, so it's going to be interesting. Now, this is paired with a rosé. None of these are paired with red, by the way. Why did she say that was? I cannot remember. There was a reason for it. She did say if we wanted red, we could ask, but they pair better with the whites and the rosé. So, let's see what's happening with this one. Yeah, it really just doesn't have a strong smell at all, so. Oh, that's really salty. The last one tasted more like Parmesan than this one did. This is actually more like a really sharp white cheddar. You know how that's like super salty tasting? It's delicious though, but I have to say I think I still like the last one better. But all right, let's see how it goes with the wine. Oh, that's nice. That like coated my whole mouth. Oh, it's good. It's good with the wine. Much better with the wine. So as you can see, we only have one cheese left. We're down to our last cheese. And it's called Formé d'Ambert, but it's a blue cheese, as you can plainly see. And they have paired it with a sweet wine. So I think, I mean, based on the flavor profile, that makes sense to me. So let's dig in and see. I know a lot of people don't like blue cheese. So, doesn't really smell strong again. Oh, that's weird. It definitely does not taste like blue cheese at home. Not even one little bit. Oh, and that wine is super sweet. Like it's almost thick. But it goes good with the cheese. That's interesting. That tastes like nothing I have ever had before. Still, my favorite was the third. All right, everybody, so we just finished up our wine and cheese tasting, and you saw everything that we ate and drank in there. It was really hard for me to describe it because, honestly, they don't process their food the way that we do in America.
It was tasty.
I know that sounds really hoity-toity. It's just true.
It's true, yeah.
They don't put all the fillers and the processed things in their food here, and it does taste completely different.
The food's better.
It is, and I don't, that's why I really had a hard time finding the words to describe it, because it doesn't taste like anything that we have at home. It really doesn't.
No.
And honestly, I mean, I've been drinking cheap wine my whole life, so I wasn't really sure
Yeah.
like what good wine was supposed to taste like, but boy, was that delicious. And I will tell you something else, the staff in there was amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
Our sommelier was amazing, the lady that waited on us, but everybody else that came by and checked on us, and even when I paid the bill at the end, everybody was just so kind and so nice. But But we did use our turbo pass again.
Yeah, and we were there for
A couple hours.
yeah, almost 2 hours. Actually.
We just sat and enjoyed ourselves, and that's another thing that Americans do not know how to do.
No.
We don't know how to just relax and take our time. In fact, there was a table of Americans right next to us. They came in after we did, and they raced out of there before we did.
They were in and out in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it was crazy, and they just kind of like rushed through it and didn't enjoy themselves. And I mean, I feel like, yeah, we're on vacation, we should be doing that, but we should be doing that anyway. We should just be enjoying life a little bit more than we do. I think that's why we're so stressed out all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
But man, this place was so great, and if you do get that turbo pass and you can get here, I say 100% do it, because that alone was worth the money.
Yeah,
Now,
that was worth it.
One thing I will say is that this comes with the cheese and 1 glass of wine. Now, for an upgrade, you can get the pairings, the 5 little tasting glasses.
Yeah.
It's 20 euros a person, and I think it was totally
It was worth it, yeah.
It was so nice to taste those cheeses with wines that they were supposed to go with, and it does make a difference on your palate. I mean, believe me, I am by no means a food connoisseur. We don't eat at like real upscale restaurants and things like that normally at home. We're just kind of like middle-class people, you know? But doing that, you can definitely tell the difference, and things do
Yeah.
go together better when you know what you're talking about.
Yep.
So I would say definitely pay the extra money for the upgrade and get the wine and cheese pairings. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was great. And it was like probably the first thing that we've done here where I was like, holy shit, I would come back.
Yeah.
Anyway, just saying, if you get the city pass, come here to Ô Chateau and do the cheese and wine pairing. And just remember, as always,
whatever you decide to do,
just get out there and do it.